What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games B.S, part of the Media Group, presented by MFTKFoundation.com. MFTKFoundation.com is a go-to website for the things that are happening within the foundation and what we're doing for the different communities local. The first thing up is next Saturday. Yeah, next Saturday, or this coming up Saturday, Tallahassee, Florida, Lincoln High School. The camp is sold out. But if you still want to come by and hang out, come hang out with some of the different people here. We got my dog, Pat Watkins, who I played against and with, along with the young bull, Amari Gaynor, FSU in North Carolina, Tallahassee Childs High School, going to my neighborhood, Rockbrook area that supports Lincoln High School. And then we still have the book bag drive. Should have some major announcements in the coming weeks about who's behind that, what's going on with that. Still need money. We're 80% away from our goal. Still at this point in this juncture, a lot of ground to cover, a lot of stuff to do. Yesterday, we had the Mike Norvell football camp, one of the showcase camps. I've got a chance to go there, bring some of my Mandarin University young bulls. But today is the day that I get to go sit back and I get to really be a dad and watch my sons, Trey Coleman and Killer Kai, both go out and do their thug dizzle in the football camp circuit. Just trying to get them some good training, and it's also an opportunity for me to allow them to see family. A lot of people bitch about certain things, man, but it's gotta be convenient. Man, bitch, when you got kids, you got a own hectic work schedule, you goddamn right it's gotta be fucking convenient. But like I said, I don't understand when people say things like that, that it's gotta be convenient. But long story short, MFTKFoundation.com, go there, $36 for a bag. Also, we have our own football camps, and we also do different things to support the community. Mike Norvell and those guys, I want to brag on them because, they get shitted on a lot in terms of recruiting. Oh, I haven't gotten it yet, dude. Hold on. I thought I got it. Make sure I sent them the right email. No, okay, I did. But they made a highlight video from a dog Monster, and I just want to tell them thank you. I know the Jennings family is gonna love that, but I'm gonna show it to you. That's what recruiting is about. I think they're relational. I think it's gonna click. They just gotta do it different than everybody else. But when we looked at this shit on today's Monday or Friday show, and I looked at where we were ranked, man, I would have thought we were way behind in comparison to everybody else. But, fuck it. People want to find something to bitch about. So bitch, they will. So outside of that, we're going to start this show off like we start each and every show with the good word of prayer. So, Miles, let's key that up.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Nobody wanna thank you, God. Thank you, God. Go.
By the way, for those who don't know, Florida State is currently in the 2026 rankings. We are currently ranked 24th, behind Boston College, who has 5 more recruits than us. Average recruiting ranking not high, but filling out the class University of Florida just picked up a commit yesterday, and they are still in load more. They are the 53. They are ranked 53, um, with only 6 commits though. So you know, in comparison to our rivals, which everybody likes to say they recruit better than us, Miami is doing exponentially better because they do have a 5 star and they have more. They have a higher blue chip ratio right now, but they're ranked 12th with 11 commits. Florida State's ranked 24th with 10 commits. Um, hey, it'll come when it comes. Yo, what's going on? Got my guy T Rob in here talking about that. I'm gonna hit you after I get done about the Tampa thing, T Rob. It looked like a little snag with Middleton, but we're gonna get that worked out. So, what we got, Jada?
All right, good morning, y'all. Monday, June 9th. We're back with our morning edition of Big Games B.S., where we bring the good and the bad and the BS to your screen from the sports world. First, we're starting with an MFTK moment, then transitioning into college with some FSU news. Then we have a few more college segments to discuss before we reach to the NFL. Got some notable moves that has been happening this off season, and then we have our big games BS section where we bring the scope of the conversation outside of the typical football world. So we got some 3 things to discuss in that section. So without further ado, let's get started with this MFTK moment. Huge shout out to this man right here because he was turning up at the camps, and his name should not be a surprise. Shout out to Turn Up for committing to Michigan State. He is going to be a Spartan as of right now, James, and he is at that safety position. Like you said, he had that transition from defensive cornerback, if I'm not mistaken, to safety. 3-star Elijah Turnup Caldwell Hardy, even though he has 2 last names, James, he is a killer. Speak on Turnup committing to Michigan State and him becoming a Spartan.
Well, I tweeted out that he did it the right way. Now, I'm not gonna hold you, dog. I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I tried to get turned up at Mandarin U. Like, but the first time he came by, first time I really got a chance to meet him was when we did the Battle Miami tournament. I drove him down. Drove him down, and we were talking and we were communicating. Good kid, overall. Really good. Still a little raw, but definitely has the size and the measurables to be able to be somebody that you do take a chance on. Very physical. I like him going back to the safety position because he's not quite as fast as most of your corners. But the way that things are going now, you got to be able to play both, right? So a lot of teams play cover 4, which cover 4 is nothing. Cover 4 is zone, but at a certain point, cover 4 is also man. So you got to just be able to keep locked on to who your guy is. But during the offseason with the 7-on-7 circuit, he's done a tremendous job. He's they have this saying. He goes to Impact Christian, and it's like, why not Impact? And Jaron Neesmith has done a really good job with him. And I like the fact that he honored the guys that got him to where he needs to be at. Even though, again, selfishly, I would have loved to have had him at Mandarin this spring. But him staying where he was at and riding it out is a tremendous thing for him and that program. And I hope that I hope nothing but the best for him.
Huge shout out to Turnham and congratulations on getting that commitment. Speaking of commitment and this recruiting talk, this is a perfect segue for FSU because we had some recent news about a 3-star defensive lineman that committed to the Noles. So we have, let me see right here, we have Whitley Cadeau, and he chose FSU over Georgia, Purdue, and UCF. So Terrence Knighton is credited with landing this 6'5", 295-pound defensive lineman out of the Atlanta area. So, James, you got a 3-star defensive lineman right here, and you see the new coaching staff is putting that work in the recruiting trenches. So, no, it's a 3-star, James. Do you have any insight on Cadeau, and how do you think he can benefit from FSU, or how we can benefit from him?
I don't know. Just about this kid. Let's go see what we can find on him real quick, Jay. Let's do some film. Let's do some quick film breakdown. But that tweet is slightly misleading, right? So again, I know those guys, like to feel a little sassy when people critique them, even though they critique everybody else. He doesn't have a Georgia. We didn't beat Georgia out technically. We beat Georgia State out, but he does have an official visit or a visit lined up for Georgia, I think, where an offer might get handed out, if that makes sense. But we didn't stuff Georgia in the locker for all of that stuff. But yeah, so go ahead and let's play. Let's see what this guy's got going on. Okay. A little read and react. All right. Offensive lineman completely whiffed on him there. All right, so he's playing head up, nose, push the center back. Okay, he's hard to move. I'll watch a little bit more of this. So he's able to play. They move him across the line. All right, I'm gonna watch one more clip. All right, is that a 3? Is that a 3 or the 1? All right, just I mean, we can get off of it. If they like it, I love it. I'm not gonna do a backflip on it. Just from what I was just watching with that highlight, I can see him being a good depth piece. It's not like the D tackle we got last year, the 4-star. Like that was pure violence on this highlight film. I need violence, but who knows with the defense that we're running with a 3 down with an odd man front, maybe this is more relative to what Pot Roast thinks we need. I got a chance to talk to Pot Roast yesterday. Odell introduced me to him, so hope nothing but the best for him. Need him to win.
Speaking of win, we as FSU fans were saddened with the loss of our baseball team. So we were playing Oregon State in the Corvallis Super Regional, and we ended up losing yesterday 14-10 in a shootout of a baseball game. Our season is over, but man, we have a lot of bright stars on our team, especially the freshman phenom, Miles Bailey. So good season, y'all boys, and sucks I had to go out like this and a little early, and it looks like you're not going to be going to Omaha, James.
They didn't want me to go to Omaha. The funny part about this is I was both games I watched, we lost. So I watched a little bit of the first game where we're winning 4-1, and then they came back and I stopped watching it, and we still ended up losing. It still should have won game 1. I did not watch game 2, but then I was watching. I was there in that first inning, and when it got out of hand, and they got up. I believe they were up like 10-3 at one point, and I just said, you know what? Ain't gonna happen. But 14-10, they made it respectable. They did finally come back, but this team just got to get some arms, man. I like the Mendez player, but like if you're going to be a shit talker, you got to be able to back up your shit, right? Because I mean, he got the energy, he's feisty, but boy, they rocked his ass, boy. They rocked him. Pause. They treated him like a freak off at a Diddy function. But it was like I said, it was frustrating though. I kind of wanted to go to Nebraska, man.
Yep. Congratulations to Oregon State for moving on in the tournament. And congrats on a good season, FSU. Hopefully, next season we bounce back stronger and get to Omaha. Next, we're going to move on from FSU, but we're still staying in the college world. And their next topic is the new upcoming EA College Football 26 game, and we're going to be discussing the new revenue disbursement for the schools in the game. So let's share this with you right here. According to On3, they will now pay schools based on game usage. Before it was game usage, it was based on the AP polls. So the more dominant, popular schools would get more money, but they decided to change it to this method right here. So I'm going to read you a sample scenario. So if the total royalties pool would be 5 million with the total royalties pool would be $5 million with 700 million games played. So if users play 7 million games as school A, the school's allocation would be 1%. Therefore, that school will receive $50,000. That $50,000 being 1% of that $5 million pool I mentioned recently. So let's just say if Coastal Carolina is getting played a lot, they're going to get more of that money compared to certain Alabama if they're getting played less in the game. So they're going with this usage type of model instead of the AP poll, giving love to those smaller schools. So hopefully they get more money on the back end. So I thought this was pretty interesting. New change they're making to the game and for schools. So wanted to share this with you all. And this is per On3 Sports. You can go on their Twitter, click that link, read more on it. But yeah, just wanted to describe that because I know a lot of people are planning on playing college football 26. So letting you know how they will disperse that revenue amongst the schools. So after the EA new revenue disbursement, they have also released some news as well regarding Kyron Lacey. If you guys remember earlier this past year, Kyron Lacey tragically committed suicide, and he was projected to be a second or third round pick in the NFL draft this year, being a wide receiver from LSU. And EA decided to include a Kyron Lacey tribute celebration in the new college football 2026 game. And that celebration is right here for you. I got a video so you guys can see. Got it right here. So on the left would be the video game, and on the right was the celebration they took from him in real life. You can see right there. I thought this was a pretty cool commemorative thing to do for Kyron, and just happy to see his impact
So
in the game.
no guns.
Dang. No guns, James. No guns, but
I mean, isn't that the one? He is that one, right? Or that Kyron Lacey? Wait a minute. Who's the one? Kyron Lacey is that's the one who accidentally ran the guy off the road, or his lawyer says he's innocent, but that's the same kid, right?
yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I liked it. I don't even want to lie. I like the gun. I like the gun celebration, but I know they trying to crack down because this is why people are shooting people. Is because football players score touchdowns, and they load that fire, pull up and squeeze. But yeah, sad. Still sad though. I mean, suicide is tough. I think I just read something. This year we've had almost, not quite, but almost 500,000 people unalive themselves, man. And most of it being men. We need to I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we weren't supposed to be inundated with news this often, and people weren't built to have the platforms that they have. And before, you used to have to work really, really hard to have. You had to be something to have a platform. Now all you have to do is crave attention. So it's unfortunate, but dealing with these young people in general, you got to really build up their resolve and really teach them. It's not about sending them to a shrink per se. What do we call it? It starts with an R. Resilience. We need resiliency training. It was a big push in the military about 15 years ago to really do that. They came back because everybody's just like, oh, you're just soft, or this generation is being soft. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you can call it what it is, but it's still sad that people still need to have a little bit more resilience. They need to be stronger, and they need to stop people watching. But watch this people right here, please. I'm cool. I'm good. Can't really hurt my feelings. I hurt my feelings every day and every morning.
So we are discussing the college football atmosphere, and I wanted to dive into this list right here. And the Athletic released the number one recruit ranking since 2000. So they decided to rank the number one recruit since the beginning of this century. And I wanted to get your thoughts on this list right here, James. So this is some list Twitter for you right here. So this is from the Athletic, the New York Times' sports company subsidiary, if you will. So let's get into some of these notable players, the number one recruits since 2000, and let's see what your opinion is. So coming in at number one, you have Vince Young from Texas coming in at that number one spot. Then you got recent Heisman winner Travis Hunter coming in at two. And James, Duval's own right here, Trevor Lawrence coming in at number three. Adrian Peterson, Leonard Fournette, Jaddonovan Clowney, Andre Smith, Jeremiah Smith right up there in the top 10. Quinn Ewers, Ernie Sims, 2003. Then you got DJ Williams, Kevin Jones, and some more players in the mix as well. What do you think about these rankings for the number one recruits since 2000? And which names would you flip, change, add, or subtract?
I blame Jaden for making me into a list Twitter guy. But it is some good lists. This one I'll say this. Shout out to College Football Home. But I don't know who I forgot. I don't know who's this is the Athletic you said?
Yes.
All right. Things that I would really like to put up here. And they've got every number one recruit. Goddamn. They don't have. So Jay, I think if you win a natty, you should be ranked high, right? So I'm cool with Vince Young being number one. I'm cool with Travis seeing as he won a Heisman. I'm cool with Trevor. AP probably should have won a Heisman. But I'm going to bump him down to 5. And I'm going to put Jeremiah Smith at 4 with the question mark of being higher because he's already got the daddy. He like right now, if Jeremiah Smith was eligible for next year's draft, he'd be the number one overall pick. We know he's going to be he's damn near a perfect prospect. Ernie Sims needs to be higher because Ernie Sims is one of the few perfect prospects to ever come out of high school. So I'm going to bump him in front of Fournette as well. So Ernie's going to go to 5. DJ Williams got a natty. So I'm going to bring him. Actually, I'm going to bump Ernie to 6. I'm going to put DJ Williams to 5. DJ Williams being one of the few guys who's ever truly bested me. I didn't realize Nolan Smith was the number 1 overall, number 1 prospect. I'm cool with. Who do I need? Who do I see over here that I just feel? Then I'm cool with the rest of the way it is. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of these guys aren't really. If you had to read, one thing they always do is re-rank the drafts. They never go back and re-rank like the high school prospects, do they? Like obviously you can't re-rank like everybody, but like if you re-rank like the top 50 or who should be 5 stars or who should have been, a lot of these guys were misses, in my opinion. But Arch Manning is where he should be at because I still don't think. I think Arch Manning is going to be fine because he's on a team that's loaded.
All right, so I appreciate the feedback from the list. Next, we'll get into a continuation segment that we've been loving, James. So it is the retro logo. So today, the conference we are discussing and the conference you are picking is the Big Tens. So you're going to see which one of these Big Ten retro logos you like the most. And I think this one should be pretty easy because that first one is just such a heavy hitter. So I'm going to read the teams from the top left to the bottom right for our viewers so they know which teams they are looking at. So you got Oregon, Michigan, Ohio State, Indiana, Nebraska, Michigan State, Maryland. You got Rutgers, Wisconsin, Illinois, USC, Minnesota. Then you got Northwestern, Purdue. Then you got Washington, Penn State, Iowa, then UCLA. So, James, you have to pick one, but you can pick some more too if you want. Which is your favorite logo out of these retro Big Ten logos?
Damn. Big Ten got it, dog.
There's some fire on.
Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, if you got me a sweatshirt, like with all of it, because that's what you got to wear apparently in Big Ten. It snows all the time. I really like the Illini. But I'm also out of all the Disney characters, the ones I like is Donald Duck, one of the ones I like the most. So I got to go with Oregon up there.
Yeah.
But I did used to have it. But Oregon's my number 1 right now. But I did used to have a cold Michigan hoodie. When I was a kid, if I could find my New York trip pics, that was one of them. So like, yeah, that's I don't like the Ohio State one. That's the one I don't like. I like the least.
Iowa's bird looks racist, but I like UCLA.
Wait a minute, which one is? Oh yeah, Iowa's bird looks like it says boy a lot.
Yeah.
Penn State's would be second trash. Michigan State, take the MSU. You know what? Fuck it. You know, for turn up, we turn it up with the old school Michigan State logo.
Yeah, that one's fire. It looks aggressive.
You know what I think I'm gonna do next year is because I was recruiting too. There's a young man. My 15U team, if it all comes together, my 15U team might be better than most teams 18Us with terms of offers and stuff. But when kids commit, more so their senior year commit, because I ain't going to be doing this every other week, changing shit. Kids be changing their mind. But like, I'd wear a Michigan State shirt for turn up. Like, I think that'd be cool. I'm just not wearing no. I guess I could wear the colors if they go to my rivals. because I have the apparel, but I would refuse to wear the logo because I'm loyal to my logo.
I feel
If
that.
that makes sense. But I'm coming to change the game. Like if them motherfuckers don't want to recruit, I'm going to recruit for them. So, hey, all jokes aside. Even though Mike looked stressed yesterday, when I see him today, I'm be like, hey man, everything all right, bro? Relax, man. You making $10 million a year. Fuck these people.
That part.
I mean, I want you to win. I'm not saying don't win, right? But like, you make $10 million a year, dog. Like
In the grand scheme of things.
and
Eli,
if they fire you, they're gonna pay you $10 million a year.
yeah,
So
I
like,
think you'll be fine.
you're in a win-win situation, but you're too blessed to be stressed. Isn't that what people say?
Right.
Speaking of them M's, James, we have some news regarding the recent NCAA House settlement for the fans. So let's share this right here. And this is courtesy of Pete Nakos. Not sure how to pronounce his last name, but he's a college sports business insider. And let's get into the news. So with the recent House and NCAA settlement, schools will be operating with roughly a 20.5 million revenue share salary, a number we previously discussed in the past but now verified. Salary cap for year one. For football, that's expected to be around that $13 to $16 million price range. So according to Mr. Pete, schools hope to circumvent that with the NIL payments, which will have to be put through the NIL. So he says, go clearinghouse, expect lawsuits, James. So like you said last episode, with teams that are already breaking the bank, like the Miamis, for example, why would you expect them to be paying less when they're already paying that certain threshold of money, like you said last episode? So I do think it is interesting. And hey, maybe the lawsuits will come rolling in. But what are your thoughts on this verified revenue share salary cap and distribution for football?
We're going to see a lot of teams be similar to pros. Like, you ever looked at it, like, more so in basketball, right? Football, nobody, the salary cap doesn't exist in football, right? Like, nobody's really trying to just pay the bare minimum because most of the teams try to be competitive, even if they stink, right? Basketball, you always see basketball, hockey, baseball. You see teams only play. They don't go for the cap. They go for the salary floor for the most part. You're gonna see. You're right now. The teams that go between 13 and 16 million are the teams that are okay with status quo. They're okay with being good every now and then. If I'm Florida State, which they're not, but I am lining up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna give you the game. If you're a booster, right? I ain't got it. Clear ask, clear give, right? I want to have player networks or whatever. I want to advertise with players. You can't go through like the Seminole.com stuff like that because that's messed up. But I want to have the sponsor me. Not sponsor, but let's say let me try to think. Let's say the MFTK Foundation. You pay the MFTK Foundation $1 million, right? Of that $1 million, you want ambassadors. My job is to find 10 ambassadors or whatever. And so that's $100K, right? I pay those young men to be able to, or whatever the thing is, to go out and do good in the community. I have just circumvented the process. I got a clear ask, clear give, and they just did this. Now, here's the crazy part is that it's going to make the young men work a little bit more, but you can really the good schools are going to find a way to make it kind of be similar to what it is. Because in marketing, I can't tell you how much your deal is worth. All I can say is that the market dictates the terms. If I believe Arch Manning is $1 million a year athlete, he's going to command that. But I do think it makes agents do more work than what they previously did. And I don't think the playing field has never been leveled, so I don't think it is. And then also the way the NILs currently work, kids are paid two different ways anyway. So now you'll get your school check, and then you'll get your advertising check. So like, nothing's really going to change. I just like, if you believe guys are going to start playing fair, you know what? God bless you, man. You got a really good heart. You believe in an America that doesn't exist. If the battlefield is even, we did a shitty job of preparing the battlefield.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate on what you said too. I think a lot of people are still kind of confused with the NIL. They don't understand the difference between the NIL collectives and the advertising, like you said, with the NIL. So let's just say, for instance, women's basketball, Juju Watkins, you see her in the State Farm commercials all the time. That's NIL. That's the advertising. That's the companies actively seeking for you to promote their brand, et cetera, et cetera. But if you look at the Texas Tech picture with Miss Kennedy, she got paid that $1 million through the collective, the school's collective.
Which we don't know what she's doing to be able to get that bread, right? She's just not as like, I'm not even gonna say she's not. I don't follow softball like that. You know what I'm saying? So like, here's the truth. If I own a bit, what's his name? What's my guy from State Farm? Big one of FSU's. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. One of FSU's biggest boosters in Jacksonville is Craig Dewhurst, right? And I'm just using Craig as a example of a guy who's well-to-do, loves the program, has done a lot of good things. If Craig Dewhurst wants to go pay Thomas Castellanos $250,000 to promote his State Farm agency, there's not a goddamn thing anybody can do about it. Craig Dewhurst has a business, and again, there's got to be a clear ask, clear give. And a lot of times the collective money, now where it kind of throws off is the collectives that were raising money through like the donation, the monthly donations. But I think that was going to all come to an end anyway, with universities now being able to seek out through boosters their own entities. So they're finding a way to mess everything up. Like by trying to fix it. I do know that.
Now that we capped off our college segment, let's talk about the big leagues for a second, James. Moving on to the NFL. And I wanted to start with this post. Dev Kleiman always has these posts. And I was pretty interested in some of these players on this list because I never thought about the hate train like this. So let's get into every NFL's fan base's most hated player. So division rivals, key division rival players. We'll get into some of these names. So first things first, let's go to the home team, James, the Jaguars. Do you believe DeAndre Hopkins is the Jags' most hated player for our fan base? Because he played in the Texans for the AFC South in the same division. I thought that was a nice connection at first, but I was trying to think, who would our most hated player be? Because I'm assuming either division rival for sure, or what do you think? Who is the Jags' most hated player?
Tom
Brady.
Definitely, I can see Tom Brady, but Jalen Ramsey. We're being honest, dog. It is not because truly Jalen, is because of 1010XL. Like, they made that shit really weird, dog. Extremely weird. Like when Jalen left. The Titans are our biggest rival, if we're being. And the reason why I say are, but I don't like when people make rivalries because you can't beat them. So the Titans are a rival because the two times that two of the three times the Jags were really, really good, they lost to the Titans. If I remember correctly, the second run that they made to the conference championship, they lost 3 games that year. All 3 games were to the Tennessee Titans. And I think that was the year the Titans lost to the greatest show on turf in the Super Bowl. So,
yep, Freddie T.
Was that the tackle at the one?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's Super Bowl, but yeah, I don't really. I think we hate guys that leave and have success more than the Browns. That is hilarious. The Browns hate that ass freak bull. The Falcons shouldn't hate Tom Brady. It wasn't Tom Brady's fault. They should hate the head coach that got him there, and
Matt Ryan.
and Matt Ryan for one, not throwing the ball to Julio, and two, not getting the ball to my running back
Freeman.
Yeah, D Free.
The Seahawks have the same problem.
Yep. Seahawks is their fit. No, the Seahawks should hate Sierra's husband. Because Sierra's husband checked out of the fucking run and threw the slant. So
I like the Arizona Cardinals selection with James Harrison because I think that's when he caught that body on the field, right? Was against that Cardinals player when he
oh yeah.
When he resurrected him.
Why would the Chiefs hate Josh Allen? They should hate Tom Brady.
Yeah. Josh Allen hasn't beat them. The tush push for Green Bay is funny.
The Dolphins should hate Pineapple Boy.
Oh yeah,
because he just keeps getting knocked out.
There's no
Patriots. Eli Manning definitely.
Yeah, I was as soon as this list got mentioned, that's what I thought. I was like Eli.
Yeah, I could definitely. That's the only one that just really just fundamentally they should just. He prevented them from being fundamentally great.
Yeah, he hurt the NFL. That should we should have a
it would be no. I mean, there really isn't. I don't give a damn what anybody say. Bill Belichick is the greatest coach in my opinion.
Yeah,
the Patriots have the best franchise just for the dominant. Nobody outside of the Steelers, but even the Steelers didn't dominate the way the Patriots did for as long as they did. But Eli just really prevented it from just being a no-brainer.
Right.
So, but yeah, I don't. Outside of that, man, I don't. That list is too recent.
Yeah, there's not a lot of old. I was trying to look up old football rivalries.
Yeah, it definitely is too recent. A lot of Tom Brady slander on here. So you got the Falcons, then you got the Colts, then you got the Seahawks and Steelers. So and the Jets as well. Oh, and the Dolphins. So man, everybody's just on that Brady hate train. It looks like that's what happens when you're great, though. That's what happens. Yeah. What's the quote? Die or be a hero, or no? Live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That's what it is.
There you go.
So yeah, that's definitely true for the GOAT's case. But I wanted to share that with you, especially touch on the Jags. But like you said, I think Jalen Ramsey would be the most hated Jaguar. So that's pretty funny that you said that. So speaking of divisions, let's get into the last time the Super Bowl was won by each division. So let's take a little blast from the past and a little bit more recent time. So obviously the NFC East won their most recent Super Bowl this past season with the Philadelphia Eagles. NFC West in 2021 when the Rams played the Cincinnati Bengals. NFC South, Tom Brady winning that Super Bowl with the Bucks, monumental Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers' lone Super Bowl with the NFC North in 2010, 15 years ago. Let's transition to the AFC side. Kansas City with the AFC West winning their last Super Bowl in 2023. The AFC East winning their last chip in 2018 with Brady. AFC North, let's go back to 2012 when they had Flacco and them boys. And lastly, the AFC South with the furthest time from winning the Super Bowl from the rest of the divisions, and that would be in 2006 with Peyton Manning, I believe Marvin Harrison on that team as well. So just wanted to show you guys the last time each division won the Super Bowl. And James, who do you speculate to win the Super Bowl this year? You think the NFC East has a shot to get that dub again?
Man, yeah, because them motherfuckers over there, boy, they play bully ball on defense. And then again, nobody wants to hear me out, but good D and good top is gonna win. You're gonna win in life, man. All you need is good D and some top, and you're gonna win. And that's what they got in Philly. They I do think that Washington isn't as far. They're young. They just got to figure it out a little quicker. But the Eagles are definitely the chief beaters. And I'm trying to think who in the AFC could give them. I don't know Buffalo, but Buffalo's got to find another running back right now because they got my guy Cook not very happy with them. So.
All right, so let's move on into some lineup matchmaking, James. I like how we do these matchmaking. So you're going to build the perfect lineup, picking one player from each position group, and you have $12 to your name. So let's get into who you're picking with the $12. One player from each of these position groups: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end.
Okay. I think this list is wild right now. So I know how I'm spending $4. You say I got $12?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I got Rodgers, Barry, Randall, Gronk. That shit got me at 12, right?
So you said you got Rodgers, Barry, so that's $4. Randall.
Randy Moss.
Oh, Rand.
That's
Oh, okay,
8.
my bad. I was looking.
And,
So you got Rodgers. You got
and
Rodgers.
Gronk.
That's 4, 8, and then who's your last one?
Gronk.
Gronk. All right, so yeah, that'll be 12. Honestly, that whole number 2 row is solid for me. The $2 row, I feel like
Yeah.
that's a solid list for sure.
I don't think
Rodgers
these
and
people knew what they
Peterson
were
for
doing.
$1.
Right. So did you see what I sent? The all white, the leading white rusher for every year in the NFL since 2000?
No.
What did you send it on?
I sent it. It was a Facebook thing. I sent it to the group chat. And Aaron Rodgers led the whites in rushing for for a lot. So like a prime Aaron Rodgers, while he's an asshole, gives you a lot of what Elway and the other guys did, but he's probably a little bit better of a quarterback in my opinion. So, and you give him the greatest running back of all time is Barry Sanders, and it's ridiculous that he's number 3 on that list. But whatever. And I definitely not putting those guys with Jim Brown. But the list is kind of hilarious too when you actually listen to it.
I don't think so.
Get in that bag.
How can I just guess Mike Allstott for a lot of the years in the early 2000s?
I wish that were as much of a
Quick
hack as
pause.
I kind of thought it was going to be.
Real quick, like this is the funniest thing is like how media slants our perception because I was with them. I thought Mike Allstott was going to be the answer. Mike Allstott and Christian McCaffrey automatically the answers, and Peyton Hills, I think the white boy that made the Madden cover that one time. But it's like it definitely screams DEI. I'm sorry, but like it just I get white rights don't hate DEI. They hate the fact that they're just not good in some industries. So they have to make up something because they love DEI when it's beneficial. But let's let that thing roll because I love the fact that they did it, so it makes it even more like they being whites makes it more hilarious.
It's not really, but why don't we start with this season? And
Well,
work our way
McCaffrey's
back.
going to have some years, right?
Absolutely, he does, but not this year, of course, because he was hurt. Look into my eyes, Logan, and you'll get the answer for this year. Who do I dream about day and night, fantasize of a life with?
Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
Here's
He's
Is
the
not
the
game
even a
humor
running
mouse.
back, bro.
And that is a theme of this list. But 2023
McCaffrey.
and 2022,
McCaffrey.
but he's hurt again in 2021, so it's...
Is this Josh Allen?
That's correct. 2020, you're going to have to pull a new name. Just awesome that this guy's on the list. Really says a lot about the state of white rushers in the NFL.
Can I just get if it's a quarterback or a running back?
So hard to say, isn't it?
Taysom Hill.
2019 is easy.
McCaffrey.
2018.
McCaffrey.
I will say, man, this list made me fucking appreciate Christian McCaffrey because
Right?
he is the only good white
doing work.
running
He's
back
doing
this
work,
century.
man. He's doing
He's
work.
literally the only one. In 2017,
Is this McCaffrey? This is when he entered the
even
league,
with
right?
only 435 yards in his rookie season, it is still Christian McCaffrey. The bar is that low. Now we're at 2016, and the bar is even lower. Your leading white rusher this year, Logan, had 369 yards.
I'm waiting for a Toby Gerhardt pull. I really am. Like, I'm waiting for...
Legend. Stanford legend. Vikings legend.
How many yards? Is this like Zach Zenner or
369.
something disgusting like that, bro?
What a nasty name to bring up. I'll remind you, Logan, we're not only talking running backs here. In fact, far from it.
Rodgers.
That's correct. How about 2015?
I want to rip Rodgers again.
Not a bad thought. He is going to be on this list one more time, but you're going to have to wait a bit. This is a quarterback, though. Maybe an underrated mover, this guy. He and Rodgers, very similar ages.
Alex Smith?
That's correct. Okay, 2014. This is a white boy who had a little something to him. A little bit of magic. Wasn't the best. Oh, he certainly wasn't the
Fitzpatrick?
best. No, it's not Fitzy. He's not on this list, unfortunately. I'll tell you that.
This white boy was goated with the sauce?
Just a fucking guy's guy.
I mean, that made me... All of those hints made me think of Baker Mayfield.
Of course, Logan,
bummer.
Baker Mayfield would not enter the league for
Yeah, be Jake
another
Plummer.
4 seasons.
Yeah, but I mean, Baker's a guy's guy. A guy that would surprise me to be on this list.
This guy had one really good NFL season, and it was the year after this.
Carr?
Nope. This was his rookie year, using those wheels.
Bortles?
Blake
Jesus
Bortles.
Christ.
2013, this guy already appeared on the list.
Bro, how? Alex Smith?
Alex Smith is here.
This is
Logan.
so sad. This is...
Yeah, it's completely
horrendous.
depressing. The 2012 answer had
Is it Peyton- is it Peyton
309
Hillis?
yards, and it is Peyton Hillis with 309 yards.
Wow.
Like, this really puts into perspective, man. They literally only put that dude on the cover of Madden because he's a white running back.
No, the
And
only...
it was literally like seeing a unicorn.
No, the only reason they put him on the cover of Madden was because the people were going to vote in. It was the first time they ever had a fan vote, and Michael Vick was going to get put on the cover, and they didn't want to have Vick on the cover as a PR
But why
thing.
is Peyton Hillis the first alternate choice? Because he's a white running back.
No, because Peyton was the other one that had gotten that deep into the fan vote, and so
But why did he get that deep into the fan vote? Because he's a white running back.
I mean, it was the first time they ever had a fan vote, and I guess, but
Yeah, it was the first time they'd ever seen a white running back, too.
I mean, he had a really good year. I mean, the Browns won like 4 to 6 games, I think, but he had a good year, like 1,300 yards, 10 TDs.
Not quite 1,300. We'll get to that number in a moment. But 2011, this white boy was even more of a sensation than Peyton Hillis.
Tim Tebow.
That's correct. 2010.
Peyton Hillis.
That's his season with 1177. 2009.
This is Rodgers?
This is Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. 2008. Believe this was this fellow's rookie year.
It's Peyton Hillis.
That's
with
correct.
Denver. Yeah.
2007, Logan. I'm going to tell you right now, Rams fullback, 313 yards.
It's not Dan Kreider, is it?
Nope, but just any name that comes to your mind, there are no bad guesses at this point. Jeez Louise, this guy had 500 combined rushing yards in the rest of his career. Rams, Bengals, Bucks, Saints from 2007 to 2014.
Can you give me initials?
BL.
Brian Long.
Oh, so close.
Oh,
thought you were
I
about to
know
rip it.
who this is. This is Brian Leonard.
You fucking beast. That's correct. Okay, 2006. This is probably the funniest answer on the list. Quarterback.
Vinny?
No. 215 rushing yards this
Doug
guy
Flutie?
had, though. No, not even as mobile as Flutie. I can't tell you the team because that would give it away, but I'll tell you this guy was a third-round pick in the 2005 draft.
Charlie Fry?
Charlie Fry led all honkies in the NFL in rushing yards in the 2006 series. 2005.
Can we please get Allstott on here once?
Yes, we will, but not yet. Dude, I was doing the same thing. I was going through all these lists. I was like, please, can we just get Mike Allstott so I don't have to scroll down to rusher number 142 in the NFL until I find a white guy? But no, it's not yet.
Is this a QB?
It is. And interestingly, you were on to the scent, in a sense, about a decade away. Not the same player, but the same genes.
What year am I guessing for?
You're guessing for 2005 right now, and it's the same guy in 2004.
This guy's related to somebody, I guessed? I mean, like, I'm just thinking about Peyton and Eli right now. That's what I'm
No, you
stuck
hate
on.
them both. You hate them both.
How are these names correct answers? David Carr. I don't get this.
Two-time white boy rushing leader, David Carr.
I don't get this, bro. This makes no sense.
It unfortunately does.
How is there no other white guy? This doesn't make sense.
This
bro.
many white runners.
Think about it, man.
in
We
the
went
NFL.
20
Like,
years
this
without a
is impressive.
corner. You know, you just got to appreciate what current pioneers like Josh Allen and Christian McCaffrey and Cooper DeJean, all these guys are doing because they're breaking boundaries that for a long time seemed impenetrable.
This is crazy.
2003, you got another quarterback. This guy could move a little.
When did he retire?
He retired in 2009. He's a late bloomer. He came into the
Jeff
NFL
Garcia?
old. It's Jeff Garcia. Now, Logan, 2002.
Allstott.
That's correct. 2001.
Allstott.
And we're seeing numbers we haven't seen in ages, Logan. We're up in the 500s, the 600s. In 2000, we have somebody who is not A-Train with 529, though.
Conventional running back.
Far from that. Nope.
Steve Young.
I wish. This guy was on the older side when he did this. It's kind of impressive.
So it's got to be a pocket passer, I suppose. Brett Favre.
Not Favre. Again, this guy was on the older side, but actually his best statistical seasons were yet to come.
Gannon?
Rich Gannon.
Whoa.
Bro,
Yeah.
how does he know
Wheels.
these
In
names?
wheels.
I'm sorry. I know that was a little long. That was hilarious to me. I don't know about y'all, but I enjoyed that because I love a good white running back, but just not that many. That's funny though.
Yeah, those numbers were awful.
That's it. We hadn't seen. The best was like that. It just made what Christian McCaffrey does do just like so much better, man. Like just like God damn, you gotta really appreciate him, man. Like he is a pioneer. It's kind of like, again, I think if people really took away the ability of wanting to have oppression Olympics, if being so offended by everything, like why it always got to be this black? Why has it got to be the first? Well, bitch, when you don't ever see it, it becomes kind of fucking impressive, right? So like you can take it and flip it and make it fun and enjoy it on your own, like what we talked about, my guy, like was it Carl Nassib? Is that how you say his name?
Who?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is he good or is he gay? And I don't think white's a handicap. I think that white guys in sports have a disadvantage not because of anything outside of the fact that America basically breeded Negroes for 400 fucking years. Like, and then when you got rid of slavery, there wasn't very many things that these big ass motherfuckers could do besides play sports. So like it's kind of like reparations and shit. Like, but for the fewest. But like was the guy, like when we looked at his stats, like I don't know if he was good or if he was just gay, because he's the first gay guy, openly gay guy. Like when you find some good guys like that, it's kind of it's the shit's impressive. Like it kind of throws you off. Josh Allen rushing for as many yards as he rushes for, like I can see, Josh should be applauded a little bit more for his ability. But I just think that's hilarious. Sorry.
Let's get into some player talks in the league, James. I know Jags fans were hoping that we could snag this secondary piece right here because the Packers released cornerback Jair Alexander. I saw Mr. Wig say this was interesting timing on Twitter. I saw a lot of Jags fans speculating that, hey, maybe we could add one more piece. Maybe, maybe not. But, James, do you think the Jags should pounce on Jair Alexander to add him in our secondary?
Hell yeah. I know he was dealing with some emotional issues, some personal issues. Like nothing like crazy or anything bad. I mean crazy, but nothing bad. But like, hell yeah, that's a talented ass corner, dog. Like fuck that. Yeah, bring him on. Bring his ass on. We need some help. Like, fuck what y'all think, man. I don't want Travis Hunter starting at corner or starting at wide. I want him playing meaningful reps. I don't want him out there in the beginning because have you seen what Richard Sherman talked about? About why, again and again, I think people got to get over the love and like, and just go back into strategy, right? If he plays every side, every down, right? You know what I'm doing? I am putting him on. I am literally trying because we can motion people and you can create matchups, right? I'm running that motherfucker on go routes every play. I'm just doing dummy routes for his ass and getting him fucking tired. And then I'm going to put my top guy on him after he's had to run like 4 fucking goals. And then now I'm putting Justin Jefferson on him and seeing how he loves life. Again, it's just you gotta be. I don't think people truly appreciate play calling in the manner in which they do. I think they know names better than they know the game. As we just saw, like that guy right there, that is the most impressive thing about that video is the fact that they said all them goddamn names.
Oh my gosh, they were on it.
And either he did his research or I want to believe he's just a walking encyclopedia of the most efficient white guys. Because I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's only 30% of the league, so it's not as many of them as you think. But anyways, going to this corner right here, we need more talent. Get them. I like it. That gives you Jerry and Jones, who's still learning and developing. Tyson Campbell, who I think when healthy is really good, but when healthy is a very big barometer. And then you bring this guy in, boom. But I don't think we get him.
Speaking of a former Jag, James, we talked about him on the most hated NFL player for our fan base, a former Jag alum, if you will, a former Noel alum, if you will, too. There's some breaking news regarding Jalen Ramsey. So he's planning to skip mandatory minicamp while he waits for a trade to come to fruition, as he is on the Miami Dolphins. And yeah, he's looking to get a new trade, does not want to be in Miami anymore. So, James, I got to ask this question. you think there's a chance he could come back home to the Jags, James? New regime here, new GM, new head coach, new regime. Do you think there could be a possibility Ramsey could come back home to Jags, or you think he's exploring other options?
I don't think he wants to come back to Jacksonville. I think Jalen just likes the idea of being in a bigger metro. He liked LA, he liked Miami. Jacksonville might be too small for him, but it would be great. Let him transition from corner to the safety spot. I think he can do it. But I think that's going to extend his career, him being one of those guys that's athletic enough to be able to do those things.
Now that we discussed some Jaguar talk, let's stay in the AFC South for a bit because one of our division rivals have added a piece that I think could really put them over that edge to get them into the playoffs. So let's get into the Browns free agent running back Nick Chubb is expected to sign with the Texans today if all goes well with his physical last season. He had an injury that left his season to be incomplete. But James, what do you think about the Texans adding Chubb to their roster along with Joe Mixon in that running back position? Two very good running backs, if I had to say so myself.
Definitely good. Two physical type of running backs. Mixon is more of a home run guy still, but both of them. How old is Chubb? I mean, I know Mixon's got to be long in the tooth at this point. But
29.
Oh man, here's what I don't think they're Saquon Barkley's or Derrick Henry's. So, but I do think Nick Chubb is getting out of a bad situation in Cleveland and going to a better one for himself.
Yes, I agree with you, James. I think, being in Cleveland right now, especially what he had to go through with the Deshaun thing and the Myles Garrett getting paid situation, everything like that. It's good to be somewhere where it's out the mix a little bit, like Houston. So, man, I was sad to see him come to our rival, come in our division. So hopefully, I don't want to see him do too well on that football field against us, but nevertheless, good job getting to a new team, and hopefully your career can continue to do well. So we talked about Aaron Rodgers last week. That was a talk of the town. Last show on Saturday, him signing with the Steelers, and he could do something very historic, James. So let's share this with the fans right here. So Rodgers can become one of just 5 quarterbacks in NFL history to beat all 32 NFL teams if he gets a W over the Packers in week 8 of this upcoming season. The 4 other quarterbacks was Brett Favre, his role model, if you will, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Drew Brees. Now, I don't know if they can beat the Packers because that team is no slouch. For sure, I would put my money on them in a heartbeat. But he could be making history, James, before we have to see the Mike Tomlin farewell tour.
Not going to happen.
Definitely agree with you, James. Definitely agree with you. Jordan Love is no slouch, man. He learned from the best, from Aaron, if you will. So I just want to put that up there.
And he really wants to beat him because, Aaron treated him the way that Brett Favre treated Aaron.
Like a stepchild.
Mm-hmm.
Like a stepchild. So to cap off our NFL segment for today, we have an OG Wyland segment. I know we usually do that for Big Games B.S, but this was the perfect segue for the NFL. And it's with a former NFL player who's used to being behind the camera of that mugshot, James. I don't know if you heard the story, but former NFL DB Pac-Man Jones was arrested near Cincinnati this past weekend I don't know why your face is shocked, James, because it's happened a lot. So let's get
But I'm
into
saying Pac-Man been chilling, dog. Like he's so cool in real life, man. But maybe this is where he was getting. He might have been doing research. 'Cause, you know, last time we really heard from Pac-Man, he was telling us that he had it on good authority that the Jaguars were going to draft Shadur Sanders.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Copenhagen dip is a little too strong. He's been using. So let's get into it. So Pac-Man was arrested early Saturday morning in the greater Cincinnati area. James, like you, I don't know who told you that. I don't know if it was Mike, not Mike, no, excuse me. I don't know if it was Bobby Bowden, but you see that time, it was 2 a.m. and you know what happens in 2 a.m. That is demon time. So let's get into it. Jones, 41 years old, was booked just before 2 a.m. on Saturday in Kenton County Jail, according to the court. He was arrested by the Covington Police Department and charged with alcohol intoxication in a public place, disorderly conduct, and assault of a police officer or a probation officer. Jones posted a $10,000 bond and was released around 11:30 a.m. on Saturday. So this marks the fourth time he's been arrested since 2021. Whew. Wow.
I mean, that's like one a year.
He's now been charged on public intoxication 3 years in a row, James. So you can't be mad at consistency.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's terrible because it's funny, dog. But like some of the times I've stood with Pac-Man, right? You know, the one time the guy asked for him to punch him, that guy wanted Pac-Man to hit him on the jaw when he slapped out his Popeyes out of his hands. And at the Atlanta airport, because you know it's more expensive there. And you know, I'm just sitting here just thinking of this stuff like he's got Chris Henry's son, who's like one of the top wide receivers in the nation in this class. Like he's doing good things, man. Like just leave Pac-Man be. Don't like bother him. Like let Pac-Man do his thing.
I agree. I definitely agree. But when he start bothering the police and the other people, it's a problem.
Like, what is assault of a police officer? Like, did he really put paws on a police officer, or did he touch a police officer, like said, unhand me, some shit like that? Because you know, they say now, like they'll arrest you for non-violent resistance or some shit like that. Like, which, you know, what the fuck does any of that really mean? Is what I'm always asking. But yeah, that's wild, man. Pac-Man can just, yeah, man. What happened with Pat McAfee and them boys trying Pac-Man?
I don't know, but I think just by him making the guest appearances, I think that was where the joke came from.
Oh,
if I had to
okay.
guess. Yeah. Just making the guest appearances on the show and stuff like that.
But, he a wild boy, man. He a wild boy.
For sure. Now that we capped off our NFL segment, let's get into the Big Games BS segment where we bring the scope of the convo outside the typical football world. So, James, we are starting with the BS or bussin' segment. I saw you tweeted that you tried something new from Popeyes, like you recently mentioned with Pac-Man, and that is the new chicken snack wraps. They got 3 new flavors: classic, honey mustard, and spicy. So 2 questions for you. 1, which flavors did you get into? Was it BS or bussin'?
All right, so I'm going to give them another chance tomorrow. I had the classic. I should have probably went with spicy or honey mustard. I'm not really into blueberry lemonade. I don't really think that. I think that's too much. But I did have a strawberry cream cheese. The strawberry cream cheese pie is much better than the apple pie. The only thing that can take that apple pie to another level is they add cream cheese to it. The problem with that I encountered with the Popeyes snack wrap, right, is that it was thrown together hastily, right? And it felt like if you've ever been drunk and you just throwing ingredients together, that's what it felt like. So I want to give them another chance. And my chicken strip was cold. When you get one of those things, you want the contrast of the heat and the cold condiments, the cold things like the lettuce, the tomato needed to be up against some heat. And I don't know what was in the classic. I don't know if that was mayo or if it was ranch. But it wasn't what I thought. And then they don't put like good cheese. It's shredded cheese. And it's not even kind of like melt because it wasn't hot, so it doesn't melt. So it just, have you ever eaten cold shredded cheese?
Gross.
I don't like it on
like
my
a
salad.
Lunchable.
Yeah. But think about like you eating a side salad, right? But the cheese is clumpy.
Ugh.
And that's kind of how it hit me. Also, and I don't know how to say this. I'm gonna put a pause in front, and I'm gonna put a pause in the back of it. So I'm gonna start off with a pause. I'm not used to having a big ass pickle put in my mouth. No, the pickle was huge, bro. Like, and it wasn't like a spear. It was a sliced pickle. But when I tell you sliced pickles are not supposed to be this thick. The pickle was thick and round. The circumference was a lot. It was a lot more than what I care to put in my mouth. And it was hanging out. So like they put like 2 big ass pickles in there, and one of the pickles was hanging out of the wrap.
Yeah. No pickles.
So when you put it in your mouth and you bite into it, like the pickle's already there, and it's tangy. it just throws you off. So like it's no other way to say it but pause. You know, but like it was the pickle was egregious. It was like that round and then that thick. And I'm just like, hey man, yo, you can't be you gotta ease people into the big ass pickles, man.
You don't want
like,
giant pickles in your mouth.
I'm just letting y'all know so that when you go and you eat one, maybe it was the Popeyes on Tennessee Street. I don't know, but the Popeyes on Tennessee Street.
That would be, that's a horrible one to go to for the new wrap.
Shit together and just putting big ass pickles and putting big ass pickles out there, dog. Like I just, hey. Listen, that's all I'm saying. But like, and I think like I said, it just wasn't. I don't ever remember you know what? Here's the real problem: is Popeyes used to do the wraps, right? But they never tried to impose their health standards on us. Anybody remember what the Popeyes wrap really what it was?
Nah.
The Popeyes wrap was an orange wrap, and they just went and got a scoop of red beans and rice. Pop, put that on that bitch, and then slap the chicken strip on it. And we were grateful for it. We were grateful for it. Them trying to be concerned about my health is not why I went to Popeyes. I was actually upset because Popeyes actually doesn't give a fuck about our health. You know why? They had a $6 box that y'all didn't even know about, I bet.
Nah, hell no.
Two pieces of chicken, a biscuit, and a side.
For $6, when was this? 95?
Nah, bro, it was like a couple weeks ago, whatever. And so I'm like, man, I want some chicken tenders. Because I didn't know what I wanted to eat. But I was like, all right, something about Slim Chickens. And I don't know nothing about no Slim Chickens. They sponsor my camp, so I don't want to get it. I don't want to mess with them too much. But like, I'm like, all right. I said, why am I go to Guthrie's when I could go get 2 big boxes and get more food than what I'm gonna pay for 1 box at Guthrie's?
Right.
So I was in the drive-thru and it was like, nah, we're not doing it no more. I'm like, damn, dog. Shit. Well, since I'm here, give me one of them days. And it wasn't on point. but I was a little disappointed. But maybe the ladies will like it. I don't know, but just some of y'all men might like it. Statistically speaking, Carl and the Sid would love that. If nothing else, you got a big pickle. Just can't be randomly putting pickles in people's mouths. That's something that Diddy would like.
Yeah, the Diddy stuff is getting wilder and wilder. I'm seeing way more clips of Lauren London and Nipsey. I just scroll. I'm just scrolling, man. I'm just scrolling.
But they say Lauren a bop though, but that's okay. She's like a good bop.
Yeah,
like one of them bops that you wouldn't know was a bop.
I feel like you would know. If you got Lil Wayne's kid, then I feel like there's signs.
Yeah, actually, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't even talk about this, but did you listen to Carter 6?
I haven't yet. I heard people haven't been liking it though.
Somebody said that you don't like sober Wayne.
Oh, he's sober?
No, he's definitely not sober.
Yeah, I doubt that. Yeah, I was about to say, ain't no way.
I mean, is he still just giving a lot? Like one of a couple of the bars, or what is it? The what do they call them? The punchline. The punchlines are just he lives and dies by punchlines.
Right.
And I think that might be where people are just tired of that shit.
I still think not a lot of people would want to challenge him outrightly in the rap game.
That might be what he needs.
Yeah, that would help him a lot.
But like there's somebody said ever since he said racism was dead, the ancestors stripped all the power from him.
Have we ever witnessed someone grow uglier in that span of time? We watched someone, he was like 16, and now he's ugly.
He's always looked gremlin-ish, but like he's worse now.
Oh,
even Flavor Flav has gotten better in older age.
Right.
I think what happens with rappers, right? And you have to know what your lane is. So Jay-Z, you either like Jay or you don't. But Jay-Z is rapping about shit that he's doing now when he raps, right? Which is why a lot of people don't like him. But like Jay-Z is 50-something years old. He's not supposed to be rapping about doing drugs and doing all these other different things. Like Wayne, I don't know what, like, ain't that man married with 3 kids now? Like, he can't be chasing bitches like he used to chase them back in the day. The bitches got to come to him. And he already kind of got in trouble already. That's why they made the Lemonade album. And they had to make the 444 thing. But, like, I don't even know what Wayne raps about right now.
That's a good question.
What did you listen to it, Shannon?
I listened to like there's like let me see the exact number of tracks so I can tell you. I'm pretty sure.
We know you didn't listen to all of them. So
no, there's 19 songs, and I listened to like the first 10, and then I listened to Peanuts to Elephant. That's like the one where it's like the really horrible beat, and then I listened to the one with him and his son. It's called Moolah Coming In, and that one was really awful. I don't know why he would let his son do that. And it wasn't good in my opinion. Like the punchlines were pretty good. It was just the production was not as best. But the first intro, King Carter, like that's a good intro. Like that's a cool intro, but it just gets downhill from there. And on the 9th track titled Flex Up, fans peeped that he took jabs at Jay-Z because he said, quote, "I just talked to Hove and he told me he seen me. Funny. Heard the same thing when I talked to Stevie." So I think this is a jab from the Super Bowl, obviously, allocation of Kendrick performing in New Orleans and Jay-Z being the president executive of the entertainment branch for the NFL. And I think this is a little jab at Hove, obviously saying that by Hove saying he saw him, it's like when Stevie Wonder says he sees him and Stevie Wonder's blind. So that's where the kind of, metaphor comes into play.
I don't think Stevie Wonder's blind, so I
I
was
mean,
confused.
He was like, he just
yeah,
Yeah, I was
a lot of
really
people,
confused.
yeah.
Stevie Wonder been in fights. Like Stevie Wonder's not blind, dog. Like that's the worst kept secret ever. But I don't know, dog. Like Wayne, you probably could like I would have made sure I dropped my best album after I got shunned for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he going on tour. Like, yeah, I just can't. I mean, that's fine. I haven't really listened to Lil Wayne like that in a while. He's a very good, talented rapper. He's not one of my top ones because he doesn't talk about shit. He raps and gives a lot of punchlines, but there's no story in his raps, I guess ever since he met Gilly the Kid, which is why I would never want to listen to Gilly the Kid. I don't even like listening to his podcast. But like the Hot Boys told stories. Like there's a song called Keisha by the Hot Boys, which talks about a day in the life of Lauren London.
God, you cannot.
A day in the life of Cassie when he got passed around by the entire Hot Boys crew. But they told a story, and you can like visualize the story and while you're driving around or while you're listening to music. And when I think about like when Wayne really he blew up with the Carter. It wasn't the Carter. It was the Squad Up albums when he was straight up rapping. But like, I don't know, man. But like, I do like some of the. It's kind of like old Drake stuff. I don't like Drake like that, but I can't deny that Drake. Some of his punchlines, Drake be saying some crazy shit, some wild shit. But then he starts singing and doing that emotional bullshit, and that bothers me.
Yeah, I was listening to more Wayne this week, man. I used to listen to Welcome to My Hood when I was a kid on my computer. I used to watch the music video on my family's desktop. I feel like that verse is fire. That's a good posse cut song, in my opinion. That's the ones I grew up with for sure. That's one of them ones. But yeah, that album, I can't wait to see the Joe Budden podcast review of it because they was highly anticipating this album. So I can't wait for that episode to drop in. But man, it wasn't the best. I would say so for sure. It was not the best. But let's go on to some 1v1 talk while we almost wrap up this show. So, James, I don't know if you're familiar with the basketball world, the banter in the basketball world, but Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson had this major rollout for a 1v1 game between them. Michael Beasley, if you guys do not know, is one of the most crafty players with the basketball in that 1v1 scheme. He played on the Miami Heat with LeBron, and LeBron would actually not want to play Michael Beasley because he would get spanked by Michael Beasley, and Michael Beasley spanked Lance Stevenson in this 1v1 game. 31-21. The rollout was insane. They had a face-off video. Beasley was saying he was going to make love like he to the game. Saying how he was going to do it real slow, blah, 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 et cetera, to Lance Stevenson. And he did because 31-21 in a 1v1, that is a very, very high point differential. But congrats to Michael Beasley on defeating Lance Stevenson.
Was it by twos or one? Each shot was one.
I don't know if it was 1s and 2s or 2s and 3s. I'm not sure. I missed the live stream when they streamed it. They did have a free live stream, but I missed it. But yeah, that is a good question, James. But nevertheless, they did have the 1v1. And just like Montre said, Michael Beasley got the CTE basketball player version for sure.
Michael Beasley's the guy who
was on the pivot.
Yeah. I knew there was something wrong with him on pivot, man. Wow, yeah, he was saying. I was listening to some of the stuff and like, where is Michael Beasley from up north?
He's from the DMV. He's friends with Kevin Durant. That's one of his childhood
Okay,
friends. They played AAU and basketball together.
he definitely talks like his trash talking. Him and not KD, but him and KG's trash talking is like, yo, what's going on in your head, bro? Like I've heard Kevin Garnett one time saying, "Oh, I like the way these young boys they play. That shit make my dick hard." Ooh, I'm like, whoa, man,
Wow.
why? What? I don't want to play anymore. If that's what it's doing to
Right.
you, I don't want to entice you, sir. Like, but when I was listening to him say that shit, I'm like, yo. But he did say this, man. He got some of the best life advice, and it would be sounding like some of these red pill or red table talk shit. Is hey man, birds fly and fish swim. That was his advice. Or that was some words of wisdom. And I'm like, yo, thanks, I guess. But Lance Stevenson is born. Lance Stevenson probably do like that because he was the one who was trying to whisper sweet nothings in LeBron's ear. And I just, there's a lot of ways to get inside people's heads. I don't think you gotta do gay shit unless that's really in you. And that bothers it. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman was notorious for doing stuff like that to his opponents, grabbing butts,
You
blowing
hear what Sean
kisses.
Kemp said? Sean Kemp said in
Yeah.
'96 it wasn't MJ. He said MJ's not what got us. He was like, it's that motherfucker Dennis Rodman. He's like, we ain't had shit for him. Like he was like that, and he was like, it's like Eddie was doing. He was like Eddie was grabbing your butt. He's like he was literally got in. The guy who was guard got into his head. He was just like he wanted to kill Rodman for that gay stuff, man. Like, but I would not be shocked if Dennis Rodman. I'm shocked to this day that Dennis Rodman doesn't have a guy coming out like that dude with Boss Man D-Lo. Because Rodman was a wild boy. And Shaq told a story about Rodman. Rodman wouldn't even shower before he went to the club.
That's
like
nice.
after the game. And he would be in that state. He's like, Shaq is like, he's like, I'm all clean and, got my cologne on. And this man come in there smelling like a full game and pulling the baddest women.
That's nasty mental image, just nasty mental image. But our last thing to talk about before we wrap up the show is some music, James. I don't know if you're a huge Chris Brown fan, but Chris Brown has started his Breezy Bowl 20th tour. So this is celebrating 20 years of Chris Brown. Dang, it's been that long. Coming out in 2005. Obviously hit tracks like Run It, putting him on the scene. And so his tour started yesterday in Amsterdam, is stretching across Europe and North America. So for you Floridians out there, he has shows in Miami, July 30th, Tampa, that is August the 2nd. And then you have some more shows for you and close to Florida in Atlanta, August 30th. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you. And man, he has Summer Walker and Bryson Tiller with him. I think this is a good. What'd you say?
I said Summer Walker is a little baby that don't bathe every day.
Oh, I don't know too much about that, but for the ladies, yeah, she's definitely popular with the R&B, and obviously Bryson Tiller as well. So James has the MFTK Foundation. I got the JCH Foundation, if you will. Donate so I could go to the Breezy Bowl in Tampa or Miami, because it should be a great show, man. His set list is like 50 something songs, and no, it's a whole bunch of bangers he's performing off his discography. So Fellas, if your ladies want to go to the Breezy Bowl, check it out. These are the dates right here. And yeah, make sure you guys enjoy it. But yeah, man.
I like Breezy. I didn't like his music in the beginning. And I don't know what this says about me. I'm not into DV, but something about him changed after the Rihanna situation. Just songs just became more relatable. I don't know if it just grew up or like that man, that No BS was amazing. Um and what's the other Deuces was good too.
Yeah, I remember that came on in Section 87.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Then I also like the song with him, Freaky Friday, with him and Little Dicky.
He
It
got
actually,
no
you said
guidance
what?
with Drake. No guidance with
No
Drake.
Guidance. Yeah,
That
it
was
was
a very
good.
popular song. Then his newer popular song, Residuals, that's been going
I do
crazy.
like that. For some reason, my 6-year-old, like, he sings that with entirely too much passion. Like, what the hell is going on in kindergarten, dog? That you like that you're this distraught that you don't want some girl getting residuals off it. Like that, like you don't want some dude benefiting off of the chick that you warmed up. Um, what was the song? The song him and Amazing with him and Young Thug. That's him, right?
Oh,
I
Go
got what you
Crazy.
need. That's it. I got what you need.
Go
Everybody,
Crazy. It's called
yeah.
Go Crazy.
Okay, I like that song too.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Shit, Breezy got bangers, dog.
I'll actually pull up the set list from that so we can talk about some of the songs because some of
Oh,
them.
you know, we're gonna know the songs. Oh, all right, yeah. Let me know because this might determine if I go or not.
Yeah, let me see. Cause they've leaked it on Instagram and stuff. So yeah, let me try and find the pictures I saw. But it was like 50 something songs I saw. So it was, man, a
That's
blast
a
from the
long ass
past.
concert.
But yeah, and but he's performing, man. He's a performer. If anybody hasn't seen or heard of Chris Brown when he performs, he's singing, dancing, the lights, the lasers. He's on all that stuff. So it's dope to see him being celebrated like this with this tour and
He
everything like
up there,
that.
man.
He
He
is
is
up
up
there.
there. Um, Fine China. Fine China is one of the songs that made me really
Great
like it
song. Great song.
because you know who I feel in my heart could sing that song Fine China, and the only person who can make it better is Mike Jack. If Michael Jackson would have was around when that song was coming out, like I think that would be. Is Bryson Tiller the one, the dude who makes a song "Don't Play with It, Don't Be Dishonest" or some shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the alleged set list right here. So you can see he starts off the tour with Run It. That's what really put him on the map, got him really
Yeah.
popular. Give Me That, Party, AO. Yeah, that's like an EDM track that I grew up listening to a bunch of times. I Can Transform You. Grass Ain't Greener,
All right.
Liquor. Who She
Nice.
Ain't
Nice.
You,
Ooh. Hold on.
Residuals.
Oof. Shit. There's some that is one of my like again when I started church, right? That's going to be like my singles ministry song, like one of the praise and worship songs. Because that song sounds like it should be sung by a choir. If he brings that with a choir, because that liquor song is amazing.
Yeah, that's a great song.
Just
Great
the way
song.
it comes in, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot all about that shit. Okay, liquor, that's amazing. All right. Shit. Grass ain't green is dope. You right. She ain't okay. Yeah. I don't want to do the say goodbye. I don't. That's for the ladies.
You got Freaky Friday too. You got
It's on.
Freaky.
Oh shit.
You got Freaky Friday, Loyal Pop, and then Find China. That run is crazy. He got Go Crazy, No Guidance, No
Wait a
Air.
minute. Kiss, as in with my boy Fahim.
Yep, I feel like that's his only
Okay.
Kiss on the discography. And then his last track is probably my favorite Chris Brown song forever. I love that song, and he ends the tour with that. So,
He
man,
got no air.
yeah.
Okay.
So
No
I
guys.
definitely want to go to this because these songs are fire, man. These songs are all fire.
Damn, he got fun, man. Bro, it's a couple. Privacy. I like that. He ain't got the bill. Was it the pills? an automobile song or whatever. Back to Sleep. Shit, he got that play. That's not placed properly though. Back to Sleep should be right after Liquor.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah, that would be dope.
Fuck you, back to sleep, girl. That song is amazing. Hold on real quick. Push pause. Let me see who this called me from Arizona. Hello? Oh, damn.
But yeah, James, that was it. So guys, you need something to do for your ladies. Need a gift for ladies. Man, that breezy bowl is gonna do it right. But don't get too close to the stage because your girl might get chose. And what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
$1,000. Is he doing $1,000 meet and greets again?
Oh, I'm sure he's doing the meet and greets, busting them over the head with them pictures, man, for sure.
So, again, Jeezy wilding. Jeezy having his tour too with TM10. Was it 101? Yeah, 101. That ain't even 20 years ago, July 25th. But July 26th is when the album dropped. Great day. But he I ain't know you gotta buy the ticket and then pay the $1,000, pay the extra money. That's insane to me. Like, I thought you so if I'm assuming Breezy like that too. You buy the little ticket and then you gotta pay $1,000 on top of that just to get your girl snatched. And he's still young and on coke, so he can do all the flips and all the amazing shit. Like he ain't got to do the cherries like Usher. Like he ain't got to do the gimmicks. He could just show you that he's still spry. So no, never mind. I won't be going. Change my mind. Change my mind.
Oh yeah, I don't gotta worry because I told my cousin that where we sitting, he won't be able to see us, so we all good. We all good. But yeah,
that's what you gotta do. You gotta sit in the nosebleeds. Hey man, they got something sexy for us to do tonight. We're gonna go see Breezy. Oh, where we sitting? Nowhere. It's a surprise. It should be all the way up there with what you gotta have the binoculars.
Oh man, but that concludes our Monday show for today. James, any last words to say to the fans out here while we cap off our show?
Make sure you guys go like the channel, like the show, share it, subscribe. Appreciate the conversation with everybody coming up. Go to mftkfoundation.com. Still trying to raise funds for this book bag drive. Outside of that, appreciate everybody for chopping it up with me. We will see you guys next time.